The narrator grew up in a loving, dependable, and close-knit family with a steady father and an energetic mother. Their childhood was filled with warm, happy memories, such as board games and camping trips. However, their mother often took solo trips every few months, claiming they were for wellness retreats, work, or personal resets. At 25, the narrator uncovered a shocking family secret that her mother had hidden for 15 years. This revelation shattered their perception of their once perfect family, marking a point of no return. The narrator recalls subtle but persistent red flags about their mother's behavior, such as her nervous smile and flimsy excuses for not letting anyone touch her phone. Despite everyone noticing, their father never questioned her, trusting her completely. Her mother was also strangely evasive about her past, offering vague, dismissive answers. Her frequent solo trips added to the mystery, leaving lingering questions. Despite the subtle oddities surrounding their mother, the narrator and their family always felt deeply loved by her. Their life felt like a warm, beautiful home, except for one locked door that no one was allowed to open. Because everything else felt safe, they never questioned what lay behind it until circumstances forced them to. The narrator's mom frequently took short, unexplained getaways, claiming they were job-related. These trips were secret and unquestioned, but the mother's thoughtful preparation for them was intriguing. She left behind personalized gifts and pre-cooked meals, each labeled with warm, motherly notes, making her departures feel emotionally loaded. After each of her mysterious trips, the mother always returned changed, with intense emotions, such as hugging her children too tightly and crying silently when she thought no one noticed. Her behavior suggested something deeper, like she was clinging to a fragile sense of normalcy. One of the children asked their mom about her destination when she left, but her mother's response was abrupt and scolded them for being disrespectful. This silence left the family feeling that something about their mother's life didn't add up. At 16, the narrator heard sobbing from their mom on the phone, indicating she was hiding a painful secret from her family. The sorrow and guilt in her voice had pierced something deep, and the narrator knew that something had always been profoundly off. While home for winter break from college, the narrator noticed a message flashing across their mom's phone screen, claiming to be someone named Jayden. The heart emoji raised immediate suspicion, as the mom had never mentioned anyone named Jayden, and the affectionate symbol didn't align with any known family member. The narrator discovers affectionate messages from their mom under the name Jayden on her phone, filled with warmth, love, and pride. The messages are deeply personal and emotional, far beyond what would be expected between friends or distant relatives. The discovery sends a wave of confusion and unease, as it is clear that Jayden is someone incredibly important to their mom. After searching through countless profiles on Facebook, the narrator finds Jayden Walters, who is the same boy from the messages. His profile is filled with photos, many featuring a woman named Michelle Walters, who is tagged in most of them. One birthday photo shows Jayden blowing out candles, with Michelle holding him affectionately. A comment from Michelle on an older photo shakes the narrator, as she claims that Jayden has his dad's brain and her sister's smile. The narrator is stunned by the resemblance to their own mother, who has the same high cheekbones, brown eyes, and signature dimple. They compare their own photos side by side with Jayden's, and the resemblance is undeniable. A storm of memories floods in, including their mom's frequent work trips, her overly emotional returns, secretive phone calls behind locked doors, and her refusal to talk about her past or her family. The narrator's hands begin to shake as the truth slowly reveals that Jayden might be their brother, a brother no one in their household knew existed. As they connect the dots between Jayden, Michelle, and their own mother, everything that once seemed odd now begins to make terrifying sense. They start to question, who is Jayden really? Michelle truly an aunt? Or something more? Could their mom have been hiding an entirely separate life? Shaken, the narrator closes the laptop, feeling like their whole identity and family history are collapsing under the weight of a lie. They launch into a secret investigation while the rest of the house sleeps. They start with a reverse image search of Jayden's photo and find matching results, scattered social media posts and blogs confirming his name and age. With each image, the resemblance between Jayden and the narrator grows more disturbing. Digging deeper, they explore the Facebook page of Michelle Walters, the woman who looks just like their mother. Her privacy settings limit what can be seen, but buried clues point the narrator in a new direction. They try searching Facebook using their mom's first name with unfamiliar last names, and then they find it. A second Facebook account with the same first name and new last name is found. The horrifying truth becomes undeniable. Their mother hasn't just been keeping secrets. She's built an entire second life in a nearby city, just 2 hours away. A bit of online research reveals his identity as a small business owner who once posted a heartfelt anniversary tribute to his beautiful wife. The narrator's mother is found legally married to another man, but their parents are still married and celebrating anniversaries. This revelation leads to a shocking realization. The lie is not just betrayal, but illegal bigamy. The emotional returns from her trips and overcompensating affection are revealed, as well as the secrets and locked doors. The narrator begins documenting everything, including screenshots, links, texts, marriage records, and photos to uncover the truth. They create a secret folder labeled Mom Truth and fill it with evidence. The emotional weight of the truth becomes too much for the narrator, who feels like a stranger living 2 lives full of love and betrayal. Unable to bear the weight of the truth alone, the narrator calls a secret meeting with their siblings. The atmosphere is tense and private, with the door locked and evidence laid out on the bed and laptop. The siblings react with denial, believing it must be a misunderstanding. However, their older sister points out the undeniable physical proof, such as the same mole, hairline, and smile. The fact that their mother is using her maiden name on the second account solidifies her hiding in plain sight. An emotional explosion ensues, with anger, confusion, and heartbreak. The siblings fight, cry, argue, but ultimately agree on one thing. They have to confront their mother. The lie is too big to ignore anymore. The narrator and her siblings are at a family dinner when they confront their father about a secret affair. The room is filled with tense as the narrator speaks about her son, Jayden, who looks just like her. The narrator's mother tries to feign ignorance, but her expression gives her away, and she looks at her husband with growing suspicion and confusion. As tension builds, the narrator's sister speaks up, revealing that the siblings know everything about the affair. The mother tries to soften the blow with a weak defense, but the truth begins to unravel. She admits to having a son with a previous partner before marrying their dad, losing custody when Jayden was a toddler. She had never told their dad because she was ashamed and afraid it would destroy the life she built with him. Through sobs, she claims she reconnected with Jayden years later out of guilt and love. Not to betray them, but because she felt she had abandoned him. She reaches for the narrator's hand, crying and pleading, insisting she never meant to hurt them. The narrator's brother asks the question that breaks everything wide open. What about your other husband? The narrator's mother, filled with exhaustion and guilt, finally admits to her first husband, Amir, and their separation. She chose to pretend the past never happened, leading to shockwaves in the room. The sister yells, "You married dad!" Zarania показав, що вони були одружені з двома чоловіками. This revelation shatters the illusion of their family, as the truth is now a crime. The mother's web of deception has caught them all in its tangled strands, and there is no unhearing or unseeing what has been exposed. The mother confesses to the truth, admitting that she failed to be a good mother to her children. The full extent of her double life becomes terrifyingly clear, as she had lived in two realities for 15 years, slipping away every few months to visit Jayden and Amir. In a city just 2 hours away, she maintained a parallel existence with another home, another husband, another child, and a hidden second family. The father is devastated, and as the truth sets in, he quietly says, "I don't know you." He walks out into the night, leaving behind the family he thought he understood. The siblings are left in stunned silence, only watching their mother. The revelation of their mother's lies and the consequences of her lies is a powerful reminder of the power of truth and the importance of honesty in a family. The siblings are left in stunned silence as their mother crumbles at the dining table, sobbing and broken by the truth she fought so long to hide. That night becomes a turning point, as everything they believed about their family, parents, and identity collapses under the weight of deceit. The mother begins to open up about her past, sharing her youth, falling in love with a wild, passionate man, and becoming pregnant. Her family condemned the man and gave her an ultimatum: end the relationship or be disowned. Caught between love and loyalty, she chose love and ran away. This is the origin of the secret and the root of all the pain. The mother shares how she gave birth to a son, Jayden, and tried to build a life with his father. Their relationship unraveled quickly, and during a bitter custody battle, she lost her son. She returned to her hometown and attempted to start over, but eventually met the narrator's father, who brought peace. She never told him about Jayden, fearing his reaction and losing the only real sense of safety she had ever had. Years passed, and she became a devoted wife and mother. But the guilt never left her. One day, driven by curiosity and longing, she searched for Jayden on Facebook and created a fake account to message him. To maintain both families, she began lying, playing the role of loving mother all over again, but in secret. She justified it as redemption, telling herself she could be there for both families, even if neither knew about the other. The narrator's mother's death leads to a catastrophic fallout, with her husband leaving the family and the siblings falling apart. The narrator's father, who had trusted her, moves out, leaving the family in a state of shock. The siblings begin to question their mother's authenticity and the life they thought was true. The family becomes cold and unfamiliar, with meals no longer shared and conversations becoming rare and strained. The narrator finds themselves drawn to Jayden, who is at the center of the mystery. Despite the pain, lies, and betrayal, they are consumed with curiosity about his life and the existence of another family. Late one night, the narrator sends Jayden a message, suggesting they might be related. Jayden responds cautiously, admitting that their mom mentioned having an other family, but never offered details. A week later, they agree to meet at a coffee shop between their cities. The meeting is surreal, as Jayden shares that he has always sensed something missing in his life and that he was shaped by her choices. They talk for hours, and while jealousy, grief, and confusion swirl between them, empathy and empathy emerge. Both are victims of the same secret, and by the end of the meeting, they are no longer strangers, but are no longer strangers either. The family struggles to heal after a significant change in their children's behavior. A school counselor recommends therapy, which some family members resist initially. The mother tries to repair her broken relationship, but trust is hard to rebuild. Some family members forgive, while others never do. The narrator remains in the middle, wounded and conflicted, but unable to completely cut their mother out of their life. A fragile new relationship with Jayden forms, and they meet again a few times a year, forming a bond that is not easy but honest. The father, who never truly forgives their mom, remains in the children's lives, providing stability and support. Years later, the narrator looks back with a complicated wisdom, learning that life isn't black and white, that people can make devastating choices, love can coexist with regret, and forgiveness doesn't always mean forgetting. As they continue rebuilding their life, they carry the scars of the past as a reminder of how strong they've become.